So what might you expect if you booked in for the individual yoga tuition? Well, our first session would be about an hour and a half, so longer than our regular sessions. This would give us time to initially just discuss what you're looking for and for us to take a bit of a case history, as it were, something about your background and any relevant health conditions. Then we'd discuss with you about the possibility of doing a regular practice, and it's always good to consider when one might do that, what sort of time of the day that you would do that, how you'd fit it into your life, and also to think about the length of the practice. People often go to a yoga class and it's somewhere between an hour and a half, and they often think that that's how long they would have to do at home, but in fact that's not the case. The majority of the practices that we plan for people for regular use at home are from 15 to a maximum of about 45 minutes. So anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes will be the time that you would need at home. So we'd establish what we think you could maintain and you could work with, and then we'd get you to do a few simple movements. Now the idea of that would really just to check out how your body moves, just to get an idea of what's possible, and during that process we might also start to explain some basic principles of yoga, particularly if you haven't done anything before. After that, then we'd take a few minutes just to formulate practice. So that's just something we would do. We would just think about what might work, draft out a routine, and then we'd actually take you through it. So we'd get you to do that routine on the mat with us in that session. As we go through, we just check out with you that it was all okay, and we might make some adjustments or tailor it as we need to do. We'd also start to introduce some of the principles of yoga practice. It's actually quite complex, or potentially quite complex. There's quite a number of layers that you can add to the practice. So we wouldn't seek to do that all at once. We'd seek to start in a very simple way and then gradually develop the practice on subsequent sessions. The final thing we'd do is we'd write the practice out for you on a sheet of paper, so you'd have something to take away with you, so you wouldn't have to remember what we've done. You'd have the practice written out, so you could use that at home. Then the heart of the process really would be you practicing at home, and then we would arrange to see you again, probably in a week or two to begin with. It's good to have a few sessions fairly close together, just so that we can iron out any potential problems, and also so that we can develop the practice and develop some of the theoretical aspects also. Once you're up and running, it can vary a lot from person to person, but you could space out the appointments, because if you're happy with the practice, you could easily do that for somewhere between 3 to 6 weeks on your own. Some people like to come more regularly because they find it keeps their motivation up. Other people are quite happy and they come less often. So that's the basic pattern. After that first initial meeting, which is longer, we would generally meet for about an hour, and in that time we would review the practice, see how you'd got on, and then we would seek to modify it and develop it. So really the idea is that over a period of time, the practice that you're working with will develop, both hopefully reflecting your increased ability to do the practice, but also a kind of increasing level of sophistication, I suppose, in the way that you approach the practice. So there are the two issues. One is kind of developing the practice physically, and the other is developing the sort of subtlety and technique.